electric shocks, water torture, and steel rods driven through the hands, each punishment more brutal than the last. Just how much hatred could drive a man to such madness? The woman just turned her head to get a bottle of drink, and a man in black flashed by. In the next second, her daughter in the stroller went missing. Qi-mao asked everyone nearby, but no one had seen any trace of his daughter. He had no choice but to take his wife around to put up flyers. One day he received a mysterious call saying someone at the hospital knew his daughter's whereabouts. However, when he found the head nurse Qufeng, he was met with her angry rebuke.
我可不可以请你们这些家长讲点道理？我请问一下哦，你的小孩是在我们医院不见的吗？应该不是吧？为什么要为难我们医护人员啊？莫名其妙。
The couple fell into despair once again. However, what made him even more desperate was that when Qi-mao returned home that day, he found that his wife had chosen to leave this world because she could not bear the blow. Shortly after, a nurse fell to her death, and the police suspected him.
所以你孩子丢了，老婆死了，于是你把所有怨恨都发泄到医护人员身上，你把其中一名护士约了出来，对吧？案发前你多次威胁医护人员，作案动机明显。
Captain Jingdong tortured Qi-mao to extract a confession, but he did not know the other party at all.
我知道你的小孩在哪，明天来医院天台，我把一切都告诉你。
However, when he rushed to the rooftop, that nurse had already fallen. As the only person present at the scene, Qi-mao was directly arrested by the police on the spot. Although he always claimed he was innocent, he was tortured into a confession by the captain and thus spent 17 years in prison. The first thing he did after being released from prison was to start planning his revenge. The first to bear the brunt was the head nurse Qufeng. Qi-mao hung Qufeng up, placed a towel over her face, and then poured water continuously onto her face. The fear of suffocation coupled with choking on water made Qufeng feel extreme pain, but she still said she knew nothing. Qi-mao took out another bucket of water and poured it into Qufeng. This bucket was already the limit for an ordinary person. Qufeng could not withstand the torture and finally spoke up.
有人要买你女儿的心脏，所以你女儿早就死了。
谁？你把我女儿交给谁？
Qi-mao also sent the torture video to the police and live-streamed it on the dark web. He also learned from Qufeng that the heart was sold to a man named Zuli.
这种人你惹不起。
However, Qi-mao did not care about that much. He first kidnapped Zuli's son and tortured him by soaking him in a water dungeon. Then he sneaked into Zuli's house late at night.
老婆，
Subsequently, he dialed the police. Zuli was tied to an electric chair and tortured.
17年前的那个买家是谁？在我杀了你之前，你最好老实说，不然你全家都得死。
Perhaps because he had trafficked too many hearts, Zuli did not speak even when electrocuted until he smoked. Seeing Qi-mao preparing to implement torture, Zuli then revealed that they all traded through the dark web using code names, and he did not know the real buyer either.
我一样有办法能让你店里面。
It was not until Qi-mao opened the iron door and Zuli saw that his own son had also been kidnapped that he instantly broke down. Qi-mao turned on the faucet to release water, and the water level quickly submerged Zuli's son. Seeing that his son was about to drown, Zuli finally told the truth. Buyers place orders through the dark web, and once they find a suitable heart, Zuli provides the buyer with the address, and they take action after those babies are discharged from the hospital. They first look for targets. The dean is responsible for performing the surgery, while he and Qufeng are responsible for contact and transport. Just like a factory, the removed organs circulate in the black market. They use organ child as a code name for this business. And Qi-mao also learned from him that his daughter's heart was bought by Yuan-zhe. However, Qi-mao had already investigated Zuli and knew that he had a very good relationship with Yuan-zhe, and their children even attended the same school. The caregiver in Yuan-zhe's home happened to be a nurse at Shengxing Hospital as well. Zuli then revealed everything. Yuan-zhe is the owner of a biotechnology company and met Zuli through organ trafficking. Later, he became one of the shareholders of the hospital and a member of the organ trafficking gang.
让你家破人亡的不止我们，还有警察。
The police arrived at Zhu Li's home, where his wife had collapsed from excessive fright, and the TV was broadcasting the live stream of Zhu Li being electrocuted. The police officer in charge of this case was none other than Captain Jingdong, who had arrested Qi-mao back then. The police returned to the station and continued watching the live stream. Qi-mao provided a coordinate, and the police immediately rushed to the location, but only found Zhu Li's son. Zhu Li's whereabouts were still unknown. The kidnapping of Zhu Li and head nurse Qiu Fong, one after another, made Jingdong highly nervous, as he was also a member of the gang. What he did not know was that Qi-mao had successfully found one of his subordinates.
找到真金东的罪证。
Combining the list of missing babies over the years, Jingdong quickly zeroed in on Qi-mao. However, Xiao Wu became suspicious that Jingdong could determine the suspect's identity based solely on the identities of 2 victims and a list of missing babies. So after the meeting, he found Jingdong again, but was brushed off by him. Meanwhile, the doctor suggested that Yuan-zhe arrange his daughter's surgery as soon as possible, as her condition was getting worse. Given that his daughter's blood type is extremely rare, if they miss this opportunity, they might not get another chance. Not long after, Yuan-zhe was kidnapped. The police called in his daughter Ziqiao, wanting her to help identify the killer. However, there were no leads. Judging from the live stream footage, this was Qi-mao's handiwork again. The police found out that Qi-mao was hiding in a hotel, and Jingdong led a team to prepare for the arrest. Qi-mao was hiding in the room, burning Yuan-zhe's photo. However, when the police arrived at room 603, they did not find any trace of him, and only smoke filled the entire room. He had slipped out through the restaurant ahead of time, but the police had already surrounded the entire building, and just as he was about to go downstairs, he ran into the officers lying in wait. He thought he had successfully shaken off the police, but unexpectedly, just as he crossed an alley, he ran into Jingdong head-on. Jingdong advised him to stop while he could, as continuing to kill would not bring his wife and child back. His words enraged Qi-mao, who immediately tackled Jingdong to the ground. However, just then, Jingdong's subordinates chased over. Fortunately, several passersby blocked the way, and Qi-mao immediately seized this opportunity to run towards the crowd. Qi-mao successfully drove away and escaped. Without further delay, he immediately found Yuan-zhe, ready to settle the score from 17 years ago. At this time, Yuan-zhe had not yet realized the severity of the problem and was prepared to spend money to settle the matter.
你要钱的话，我都可以给你。我不要钱，我要你女儿的心脏。
Yuan-zhe was instantly stunned, and only then did he recall the matter of him buying the heart.
你们从我身上拿走的东西，我全部都要拿回来。
Unexpectedly, Ziqiao had followed him here with her boyfriend. She saw the arrest intelligence at the police station, followed him all the way from the hotel to this place, and even brought a stun baton ready to fight back. Seeing Qi-mao wake up again, Ziqiao grabbed a metal rod and struck him. Her boyfriend reminded her to show mercy, warning her that she would kill him if she kept hitting him. Qi-mao watched helplessly as Yuan-zhe was rescued. When he woke up again, he saw someone notifying him to run. Qi-mao set fire to the crime scene and dragged his injured body out of the warehouse. When the police arrived and saw the billowing smoke, they knew they were a step too late again. The reason Qi-mao could escape every time was due to the secret help from his students, but he knew something would happen to him sooner or later, and he did not want to implicate his students anymore. The student working at the police station brought an autopsy report. This was the evidence that caused Qi-mao to be sentenced back then.
坠楼的护理师从他的指甲缝里验出你衣服的纤维。
那个护士就是你推下楼的，对不对？你认不认罪？你那时候一直觉得自己无罪，记得吗？
Worried about being kidnapped again, Yuan-zhe decided to take his daughter for a checkup and fly directly to the United States tomorrow morning. And Qi-mao kidnapped Yuan-zhe's butler, Uncle Zhou. But unexpectedly, his wife and child returned home suddenly. Uncle Zhou's wife was not only a nurse at the hospital but also Ziqiao's caregiver. Qi-mao forced her to reveal Ziqiao's location and planned to kidnap Ziqiao first. At this time, Ziqiao was preparing in the hospital, and her best friend Jewel Shu came to visit her. They agreed to meet in the United States after the surgery. When Qi-mao arrived at the hospital, he was a step too late. Ziqiao had already been anesthetized and wheeled into the operating room. At the same time, Yuan-zhe also received the news. Qi-mao arrived at an unused ward, and a group of thugs instantly rushed out. Qi-mao took them down one by one, rushed to the ward, and snatched Ziqiao.
放开他。
When she woke up from the anesthesia, she found that she had been kidnapped by Qi-mao. Xu played their confession video for her, and only then did she realize that her heart was bought from the black market by her father.
你听我解释，你女儿才没有死啊！她现在叫徐子乔，小乔不是我亲生的，她是你女儿。后来怎么样？一直到今天，你女儿突然发烧了，让我另外找一颗心脏，真的。后来我就把她带在身边，把她抚养长大。
If Yuan-zhe's confession was true, then Qi-mao was her biological father. Meanwhile, Zhou also saw Yuan-zhe's video. When Qi-mao kidnapped him, he had placed a USB drive in his pocket. However, Ziqiao did not believe it. She felt that her father was lying to protect her. Ziqiao took the opportunity to run out and immediately called Shihao.
我知道很难相信，但是我觉得张其猫讲的好像是真的。
On the day Qi-mao kidnapped Zhou, Juan had checked Ziqiao's medical records and discovered she had no heart condition at all, not even a scheduled exam. The next day, she checked the hospital's back-end system and found that there was no surgery scheduled for Ziqiao at all, and the one who actually had heart disease was Zhu Shu. Ziqiao ran to Zhu Shu's house to hide, but discovered her father walking down from upstairs, which instantly gave her a foreboding feeling. However, by the time she realized the danger, she found that she had already walked right into a trap. Back then, during the days prepared for the transplant, Ziqiao suddenly developed a high fever and was unfit for surgery, so Yuan-zhe had to use another heart as a substitute. Later, he kept her by his side and raised her. It was not until recently, when Zhu Shu's condition worsened, that Yuan-zhe set his sights on Ziqiao again. Upon learning the truth, Ziqiao had an emotional breakdown. She ran upstairs in a panic, only to find that the doors were all locked tight. Her father had always claimed to be busy working abroad, but in reality, he had been here accompanying Zhu Shu all along. After learning her father's true colors, Ziqiao would rather die than help this father and daughter achieve their goal. Shihao uses a stun baton to knock them out one after another, and Zhu Shu is also kidnapped as a hostage. Qi-mao takes Zhu Shu to the pier, immediately calls Yuan-zhe, and tells him to come to the pier for the exchange at 2 a.m. Ziqiao is brought to their base and learns that they are all Qi-mao's students. She is curious why they help Qi-mao do illegal things. It turns out they were all children from the orphanage. Back then, they accidentally killed the director, and Qi-mao took the blame for everything for them. After growing up, they took root in various industries. And after learning of Qi-mao's revenge plan, everyone contributed their own part. At this moment, Qi-mao arrives calmly at the police station. Jingdong looks at him as if seeing an enemy. The condition for Qi-mao to release the people is to let Jingdong and Xiaowu go to the container yard. Only then does Jingdong learn that Qi-mao had privately sought out Xiaowu and asked him to secretly investigate his evidence of crime. At this moment, Jingdong can do nothing about him. Qi-mao has already made a backup plan. If they do not arrive at the container yard before 2 o'clock, Yuan-zhe's daughter will die, and the criminal evidence he holds will also be disseminated. Qi-mao found out that they sold a total of 33 babies. A baby is clearly priced at 2 million, and the money was all remitted to the same account. The transaction details and mule accounts, including call records, have all been backed up by him online. And there are also people from the police station on the list. But there is one thing he has never been able to figure out: who exactly killed that nurse? At that time, he didn't even meet her, and the nurse fell to her death. Unexpectedly, there were fibers from his clothes under her fingernails. Only then did Xiaowu slowly speak. Back then, Jingdong took dirty money to arrest Qi-mao, and also ordered him to kill that nurse. The two police officers turn against each other and start fighting. Qi-mao jumps out of the car during the chaos, unlocks his handcuffs, and escapes. Xiaowu kills Jingdong with one shot, and then prepares to silence Qi-mao as well. At this time, Yuan-zhe also rushes over. Xiaowu notices movement in a truck, and inside are actually the people kidnapped by Qi-mao. At that time, Qi-mao intended to kill them all, but fortunately his students stepped in to stop him, so they managed to survive. A burst of noise causes Xiaowu to fire several shots, and Qi-mao is accidentally shot in the chest. Yuan-zhe found his kidnapped daughter and tried to break open the cage to rescue her. Xiaowu chases after the figure, is ambushed by Qi-mao hiding nearby, and the two instantly scuffle together. However, Qi-mao is seriously injured and soon falls to a disadvantage, being pinned down by Xiaowu by the chest and unable to resist. but the desire for revenge makes Qi-mao crawl up again, grabbing Xiao Wu and beating him frantically, but he is pinned down again and unable to move. Yuan-zhe rescued his daughter and shot dead several insiders who knew the truth. Seeing this cruel scene, Ziqiao instantly cannot bear to look. She did not expect Yuan-zhe to be so ruthless. Xiao Wu prepares to grab the gun, but is beaten to it by Qi-mao. He stands up tremblingly and takes the initiative to press his head against the muzzle. Unexpectedly, Yuan-zhe rushes over and questions Qi-mao about Ziqiao's whereabouts. He is still calculating using Ziqiao to save his daughter's life. However, what is unexpected is that both of them want to kill Yuan-zhe. They rush towards Yuan-zhe at the same time. Xiao Wu is accidentally shot and falls to the ground, while Qi-mao pins Yuan-zhe to the ground and beats him wildly. Facing imminent death, Yuan-zhe finally begins to beg for mercy. Qi-mao softens his heart again and lets Yuan-zhe go. He returns to the car silently alone and also releases Yuan-zhe's daughter. Yuan-zhe sees his daughter walking over and is preparing to go over and reunite with her. But unexpectedly, his daughter is shot dead on the spot, and even he himself is not spared. At this time, the police also arrive, so Qi-mao has to drive away to escape. Ziqiao comes to the seaside to wait for Qi-mao. She does not know if her father will come. Xiu hands her a camcorder, which contains what Qi-mao wants to say to her. Ziqiao finally learns her real name and some interesting stories from her childhood.
你的名字叫张雨柔，你的妈妈叫何静之，你的眼睛跟妈妈一样会笑。我记得你刚出生的时候，像一只小猴子一样，爱哭又爱闹，但是你一定会准时吃饭，准时睡觉。在我的回忆里，你是那个我抱在怀里的小婴儿，而我再一次抱着你。你已经长大成人，我对你一无所知，你甚至拥有了一个新的名字，一段我不了解的人生。作为一个父亲，世上没有比这更大的悲伤了。
你到底想要我怎样？
我想要你活着。
He has always felt guilty for not protecting Ziqiao well back then. If there could be a parallel universe, he would rather none of this had happened. He uses his last breath to drive to the seaside and faints on the beach due to physical exhaustion. In a trance, he sees his deceased wife. He struggles to sit up again, changes into a clean jacket, and prepares to meet his daughter. But he still cannot hold on and falls directly to the ground. Ziqiao takes out her father's phone, which instantly makes her weep uncontrollably.